Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the keynote session of Research Day. This is our 11th annual Research Day, and it's obviously occurring under circumstances that are much different than our past programs. And this year's virtual program has gone well so far, except for an early technical glitch. But we certainly miss the in-person interactions that normally happen on this day. So my job is just to kick off this keynote and awards session. And before I turn over the program, I just want to thank everyone involved in today's program. As always, we start our thank yous with the poster judges. We had 50 judges that evaluated 78 research posters. Obviously, the pictures on this slide are from last year because judging today was done virtually. And we greatly appreciate the adaptability of our judges in this regard. And our judges today were mostly alumni and friends and supporters of the college. And as always, we thank you for sharing your valuable time and expertise. So let's have a virtual round of applause for our judges. Thank you. I'm lucky to have a little in-house audience here to provide sound effects. So next, let me thank the sponsors of today's event. We received generous support from several pharmaceutical companies. These included AbbVie, Horizon, Lundbeck, and Genentech. We also have a permanent sponsor of Research Day, and that is the Swanson Family Research Day Fund. That fund was started by former faculty member Steve Swanson. And Dr. Swanson is now Dean of the School of Pharmacy at the University of Wisconsin, but remains a loyal advocate of the UIC College of Pharmacy. We also have internal support from the UIC Office of Technology Management, the UIC Center for Clinical and Translational Sciences, and the University of Illinois Cancer Center. Finally, we had several graduate student organizations that sponsored awards, and these include the student chapters of the American Association of Pharmaceutical Scientists, the International Society for Pharmacoeconomics and Outcomes Research, and the International Society of Pharmacoepidemiology. Thank you to all of these sponsors. As you know, we take Research Day very seriously. We're proud of our top national rankings. I think maybe there's a next slide. There we go. Thank you. We're number 7 in the country among colleges of pharmacy, at least I need to remind you. But most importantly, we're proud of the impact that research that is done here has had on people's lives by improving health and health care. We're proud of our faculty who work every day on new discoveries, with several new drugs on the market or in advanced stages of clinical trials this year. And we're proud of our alumni, many of whom are involved in highly successful research careers. But mostly, Research Day is about celebrating the efforts of our PharmD students, master's and PhD students, and postdocs, residents, and fellows, and their curiosity and their passion for discovery and of research. And I hope that you enjoyed viewing the 78 research posters presented by our students that adorn the virtual walls of the college today. Those posters span the spectrum of research that's conducted here, from molecular and cell biology to drug targets and mechanism of action, to drug discovery, modeling, and design, to drug detection and delivery systems, and to all of the clinical, social behavioral, and applied research that we conduct. Most importantly, I hope that you had the opportunity to engage, even if virtually, with the presenters, and that sparked new ideas or insight. These students are the future leaders of our profession, of pharmaceutical industry, of academia, and of their fields. So let's have a round of applause for all the students and trainees who had posters today. Thank you. I hope that you'll stay for the awards ceremony this afternoon, where we'll recognize our students. We'll be giving out 31 graduate student awards, 16 poster awards, and most importantly, there'll be some very large cash prizes. I think there's a couple more slides. Lindsay, or no? Move it ahead. One more. No. Okay. I thought I had one other slide, but never mind. Before I end, Let me just acknowledge the work of the department heads, center directors, faculty, and staff that contributed time and effort in planning today's event. Of course, I especially want to thank Lindsay McQuaid and Joanna Burdette, converting this program to a virtual event. And the majority of effort around Research Day this year was theirs, and I greatly appreciate all the work that they put in. Finally, since I have the virtual stage here, let me just say that days like today make us step back and recognize all the great effort and accomplishments that we achieve as a College of Pharmacy. Whether it is research, which we're celebrating today, or service or education, or those missions, we have continued to excel in the face of a pandemic and other challenges around us. And I'm grateful every day to work with such dedicated faculty, staff, students, alumni, and partners. We have a great program for you today, which includes the keynote address, followed by a presentation of this year's Hans W. Voltec Research Award recipients, and then later the Graduate Student Awards. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the baton to Dr. Burnett.
All right, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Andrew Riley here today, who's won the 2019 Hans W. Voltec Research Award. Dr. Riley is an assistant professor at pharmaceutical sciences, and he earned a bachelor's degree in chemistry from Ohio Wesleyan University. His PhD is also in chemistry from the University of Kansas, where he studied the natural product salvinorin A under Professor Tom Crescenzano. He completed postdoctoral studies at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign under Paul Hergenrother. He was an NIH postdoctoral fellow there, and he worked on antibiotic resistance. Professor Riley joined the faculty at UIC in 2018, and his research lab focuses on using natural products as starting points for medicinal chemistry optimization of compounds that could be used to treat disorders of the central nervous system. Dr. Riley's Baltic grant is focused on opioid replacement therapy. Because of new federal guidance, a lot of patients who suffer from chronic pain are looking to botanical supplements such as kratom and aquama to self-medicate. And relatively little is known about these supplements, and Dr. Riley's Baltic grant focuses on understanding the constituents of aquama in particular and how they interact with the opioid receptors. So his studies will provide new chemical tools to study opioid signaling, and eventually they could lead to new therapies for pain then as well. His Voltec grant is entitled Biasing New Opioid Receptor Agonists to Improve Opioid Substitution Therapy. So congratulations, Dr. Riley.
So it is my pleasure to introduce the next person who receives the 2020 Hans Baltic Award, Professor Zach Balman. Zach has joined the faculty of College of Pharmacy in 2017. And since then, he was a very successful member of the College of the faculty community. He has in general published 24 research papers, 6 of which he's published after he joined UIC. He was also quite successful in getting grants, not only from the Voltec Foundation, but also from the extramural funding agencies. He is a co-I on the R01 NIH grant, together with his collaborators at Northwestern. He is a PI on the NIH and CATS Award, and he is also a PI on the award from Chicago Biomedical Consortium. Dr. Balman plays an important role in the International Society of Anti-Infective Pharmacology, where he is no less than a treasurer, and he also participates in many other activities of this society. So the award, the Voltec Award, the title of the Voltec Award is Tailor-Made Antibiotic Combination for Carbapenem-Resistant Klebsiella Pneumonia. There's an abbreviation ESCAPE, E-S-K-A-P-E, which unites 6 most dangerous, most difficult to treat pathogens pathogens which are characterized by multi-drug resistance. K in the SK pathogen stands for Klebsiella pneumonia. One of the big, fast-growing problem is carbapenem-resistant Klebsiella. Even with the advent of new drugs, specifically drug combinations like beta-lactam and beta-lactam inhibitors, treatment of Klebsiella infection is still a very difficult task. At the same time, we know of many old antibiotics, old good antibiotics, like, for example, aminoglycosides. And they're good, firstly, of course, because they target the ribosome, but because they have been around for a long time, we know a lot about these drugs, which potentially can be used for treatment of infections if we know how to use them correctly. So the main focus of the proposal of Dr. Balman is to find the best combinations of aminoglycosides with the beta-lactam inhibitor combinations for treatment of drug-resistant Klebsiella pneumonia infections. So I wish Zach all the best with his exciting work on this project, and we will be looking forward for the outcome of this research. Congratulations, Zach.
Okay, thank you everybody for taking the time to participate in Research Day and really helping us recognize our 3 Voltec awardees today. I just want to emphasize this is a great example of how our research in the college spans really from discovery to applied pharmacy practice, like the Dean was mentioning earlier. So I'm pleased to present our 3rd Voltec Award to Dr. Karen Schweiss. So Dr. Schweiss is a clinical assistant professor here at UIC, and she's involved in managing patients with hematologic malignancies, and this is done at a collaborative pharmacist-physician managed multiple myeloma clinic. Now, Dr. Schweiss is primarily involved in clinical research, and this is with myeloma and autologous transplant patients. And her research is really focused on understanding the pharmacokinetics and the pharmacodynamic interactions with chemotherapeutic drugs. Now, I just want to say on a more personal note, Karen is someone that works extremely hard, very committed to her research task. And I'll say it shows, her work is being recognized here today, but I'd like everybody to know it's being recognized in the larger hematology community outside UIC. She was able to receive, a Best Presentation Award on some of the research that she's doing. So it's a really great testament to the college and everything that's going on here. The title of Karen's project is Novel Strategy to Personalize Melphalan Dosing and Overcoming DNA Repair-Mediated Resistance. Now, the goal of this research is really to understand how high-dose melphalan in a phase 1 human clinical trial can accurately deliver drug exposure to determine and quantify how DNA damage influences patient outcomes. So we're really looking forward to seeing this research play out here, especially on the clinical impact in that applied pharmacy practice area. So I just want to say congratulations to Dr. Schweiss, and we as a college are looking forward to seeing your future scientific contributions. So congratulations.
Hello and good afternoon. I want to thank Dr. Wright again for a fabulous presentation. And today is the final cap to this event. I'm Joanna Burdette, the Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Education in the College of Pharmacy. And now is when we would typically hand out lots of money, shake hands, get our pictures taken, and, do all those fun, wonderful things together. But instead, we will have your pictures and read your name on this Zoom PowerPoint presentation. Now, before we go further, I'd just like to say one gigantic, enormous, tremendous thanks to Dr. Lindsay McQuaid. She is a beast mode, and she managed to get everything pulled together for this event virtually single-handedly. But of course, we would also really have to thank our amazing IT, Marcin, who's in the room with us, who facilitated a lot of coordination this morning that made everything possible. But Lindsay McQuaid, she is tirelessly finding judges for us, assigning them, ensuring all the scores come in safely, no recounts today. And it is just amazing how good and how fabulous she is. And I'm just going to clap for her. And of course, I want to thank all of the participants today. It is truly amazing. I popped in on multiple poster sessions, and it was really fun to see some of you who I might not have seen because of the social distancing and COVID situation in those breakout rooms today. It was really nice to see all the science still going on. Judges, thank you so much for your efforts, and our faculty for participating, as well as Dean Schumach for continuing to support this, and the Advancement Office for fundraising with us. So, without further ado, we will now read the names of the award winners for the 11th Annual Graduate Student Awards. For the Al Langermann Memorial Scholarship, we have 2 recipients, Caleb Anderson and Jose Colina. The Charles Bell Award in Medicinal Chemistry goes to Marianne Palczewski. The Charles Wesley Patranic Memorial Scholarship has 3 recipients this year, Rini Badia, Kyle Mangano, and Hannah Cushman. The College of Pharmacy Scholarship Award goes to Rosemarina Armstrong, Great Mass Picture. The George Anelian Family Fund for PhD students in pharmacognosy was awarded to Tova Bergsten. And the Edward Benny Scholarship goes to Catherine Dial and Antonio Hernandez. The Jesse E. Stewart Memorial Fellowship Awards go to Chandler Coleman, Carter McCormick, Andrea Monteiro, and Mary Smart. The Oscar Robert Oldberg Prize in Pharmaceutical Chemistry has 4 winners this year: Jessica Cleary Little, Yuquan Guo, Gordon Liu, and Xinhao Xiao. And that is a great photo of you on that car. The Paul Sang Award goes to Ariana Dendiel and Carl Sokolowski. The Professor Ludwig Bauer Scholarship in Medicinal Chemistry is awarded this year to Laura Cooper. Ralph Henninger Pharmacy Award goes to Timothy Langridge. And the Stanley and Betty Jane Susina Scholarship is awarded to Simone Creed, Cornelia Scouron, and Ashutosh Tripathi. I know everyone wants me to hand out the winners, but we simply were not able to tabulate those results. We will send an email out as soon as possible, likely sometime next week, that will announce the winners of the categories. So more awards will be coming soon, and thank you so much for your participation this year. Just say that. That's all, folks. See you next time.